in this room have siblings? Did you know that siblings between the ages of 3 and 7 fight approximately 3.5 times every hour? So, I know. So that fact kind of defines my childhood, being the youngest sibling of 2 older sisters. And I fought with my siblings all the time, and it was just a complete mess. So, well, my name is Kelsey, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my relationships and how I matured, not just like boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, but I'm going to talk about my relationship with my siblings growing up in my childhood. All the way up, I'm going to talk a little bit in high school about my first boyfriend and how it was my first love. And then I'm going to go into my relationship with my parents. So, growing up as a youngest sibling, it was, my sisters teased me about every little thing, and I even came to a point where I almost just hated my older sisters. They were just so mean to me, and there's actually this kind of funny story. So my oldest sister, Joellen, she was watching television one time, and I had the secondary remote, and I was changing the channel on her, and just joking. And then she got really mad at me and started chasing me out through the house, and she was actually going to really physically hurt me, and I was very scared. And I jumped on this, we have this wooden little coffee table, and I jumped off of it, and then she jumped on the same one, but she was wearing socks, and she slipped and hit the wall really hard. And this huge oil painting fell around top of her head as she hit the wall. And she knocked out, and it looked like something out of a cartoon. It was so funny, and I don't even remember what I did. I think I was just kind of relieved that it was over, but just like all these little stories, I laugh about them now as I'm older, and even laugh about them with my sisters now, even though how I've grown through that, how I hated them, but now I've kind of like matured out of that, and now I actually really appreciate my family, and it's just kind of cool. So later on, I went through high school, and I had my first boyfriend, and I thought I was in love. You know, everybody goes through that stage, you know, and it was really fun and exciting, and I was like, oh my gosh, this boy likes me, and it actually ended up being really toxic, and it lasted like 2 years, and it was like up and down with my emotions, and it was something out of like a high school drama. And through that relationship, I learned a lot, like what not to find in like a boyfriend, and that was just so bad. And I feel like I had to go through that to learn how to actually find someone that's worth my time and not play with your heart. I'm actually engaged right now, so that's kind of cool. So I actually found someone who's a lot better than that. So, and then while I was going through high school, I was really rebellious, and this leads into the relationship I had with my parents. I would lie to my parents all the time, and I had really strict parents, and so when they tried to like just tell me to be home at like 10 p.m. and I would come home at like 2 in the morning, I just didn't care. It was so horrible, but they were still so kind to me, and they still loved me so much that they just, you know, kept caring for me as their own child. And I look back on how like selfish I was towards them, and it was just so immature. And when you're in high school, you everybody goes through that like rebellious phase where they just want to hang out with their friends. They don't think it's cool to like hang out with their parents, and that was totally me. My whole focus was my friends, when it should be your family, because your friends come and go, but like your family, like that's the only dad, that's the only mom you're gonna get, it's the only siblings you're gonna get. So, you know, like why abuse them like that? So that's just kind of like my story. And in conclusion, I just want to really have an importance on your relationship with your loved ones, because they're the only ones you're gonna get. So, and right now we're in like we're super tight. Like my sisters and I are like the bestest friends ever. My dad and my mom, like we always go travel together whenever I'm on leave. So it's really a great relationship I've had, and I grew a lot. I grew from like hating them to like now I'm like they're my bestest pals ever. So that is my speech. That's all. I didn't go off like any of my notes.